The Next Generation may be more popular, but Star Trek Discovery has it beat in one specific way. When Star Trek The Next Generation first aired in 1987, it redefined what Star Trek could be. It introduced a new crew, a new enterprise, and a more polished future vision of the Federation. In the decades since, it has become the franchise's most universally beloved series, a pop culture icon that transcends generations. Star Trek Discovery, by contrast, launched in 2017 to a divided fan base. Its serialized storytelling, darker tone, and updated visual style polarized audiences who were used to the optimism and structure of earlier Trek. Yet, despite the Next Generation's towering legacy, Discovery surpasses it in one key way: emotional character storytelling. While the Next Generation excelled at high-concept science fiction and moral dilemmas, Discovery dove headfirst into the emotional core of its characters. For better or worse, it made Star Trek personal. Every major storyline revolved around loss, identity, belonging, and the trauma of war and duty. In The Next Generation, Captain Picard might wrestle with philosophical questions about humanity, but Discovery's Michael Burnham actually feels the consequences of her actions in ways that resonate on a human level. The age of serialized emotion. One of Discovery's most defining traits is its serialized storytelling. Each season builds a continuous emotional and narrative arc, allowing characters to evolve and struggle across multiple episodes. In contrast, The Next Generation relied almost entirely on self-contained adventures. By the end of an episode, conflicts were resolved and characters reset to their default states, except for occasional exceptions like the best of both worlds or family. In Discovery, however, emotional consequences carry forward. Burnham's guilt over starting the Klingon War in Season 1 isn't forgotten by Season 2. It shapes her every decision. Saru's evolution from fearful Kelpian to confident leader plays out over multiple years. Even secondary characters like Tilly and Stamets experience growth and trauma in real time, reflecting how emotional wounds and personal victories define who we become. This serialization allows Discovery to dig deeper into character psychology. Burnham's journey from mutineer to captain mirrors not just redemption, but transformation, a core Trek theme explored through feeling, not just philosophy. The Next Generation occasionally explored similar depth, particularly in episodes like The Inner Light or Tapestry, but Discovery sustains that intensity every season. Star Trek in the Age of Feelings. The 21st century has changed how audiences connect to storytelling. Modern viewers crave emotional authenticity as much as intellectual complexity. Discovery understands that balance. It may feature galactic scale stakes and time travel mysteries, but it grounds them in relationships between Burnham and Spock, Stamets and Culber, or Saru and his people. The show treats emotional expression as strength, not weakness. By contrast, The Next Generation reflected the restrained emotional tone of late 20th century television. Its characters, though beloved, often remain stoic or idealized. Captain Picard's dignity and intellect defined him, but rarely did the series let him break down or lose control. Even Data's quest to be human was explored with more curiosity than vulnerability. Discovery, on the other hand, thrives on emotional risk. Burnham cries, yells, falters, and rebuilds herself constantly. Her vulnerability isn't a flaw, it's a defining feature. This emotional transparency has also opened the door for Discovery to explore themes of trauma, identity, and mental health in ways The Next Generation couldn't. The crew doesn't simply move on from hardship, they process it, sometimes painfully. When Ariam dies in Project Daedalus, the aftermath ripples through the crew for episodes. When Culber is resurrected, his disorientation and detachment from life are treated with realism rather than plot convenience. Representation and connection. Discovery also surpasses The Next Generation in its approach to representation. While TNG was groundbreaking for its time, it still reflected the social norms of the late 80s and early 90s. Discovery embraces a modern, inclusive vision of the future, one that celebrates diversity not as a statement, but as the baseline. Stamets and Culber's relationship marked the franchise's first major portrayal of a same-sex couple. Adira Tall and Gray expanded representation further, introducing non-binary and transgender characters whose identities are integral to the show's emotional themes. This isn't representation for representation's sake. It's part of the emotional realism that defines Discovery. Every character is allowed to be complex, vulnerable, and seen. The result is a Starfleet that feels genuinely evolved. Where The Next Generation imagined a world of harmony, Discovery shows how that harmony is maintained through empathy, communication, and self-acceptance. Its emotional honesty aligns with what Gene Roddenberry always envisioned, a humanity that learns to be better not through perfection, but through compassion. The heart of Discovery. Critics often point out Discovery's flaws, its pacing, occasional melodrama, and over-reliance on big mysteries. Those are valid critiques. But at its best, Discovery captures something the next generation isn't just about.